Today, we are sitting down with Veronica, who went from charging $200 for a brand identity to having her first $11,000 month in under a year, right?
Veronica has a very special place in my heart because everything we would tell this girl, she would try to do and match like 110%. And so she's just one of our best success stories. And so I'm really excited to sit down and talk with you today because just give everybody else like an inside look at like what made you so successful in all of this. And I think one of the markers of a true leader is like being able to talk about where your success came from. And so I'm just really excited to hear about that and more about you and your story. So we're going to go into all of that today.
Tell us about you and what was your situation like before Design as a Catalyst?
So, long story short, I was a teacher in high school. I was basically getting out of the fashion business because that's where I went to school for 7 years. And after battling with doing like a business and not working out and not knowing what I wanted to do, I found this job that was giving me a salary that I definitely needed, and I took it. I gave it a try. I even thought I was gonna be a teacher like forever. And I got to the realization I hated it. I would drive back and forth crying like, what am I doing in here? And even though I got good at that, it was just like I felt like there was such a waste of my talents and creativity just making like PowerPoints for a class. And with this for my husband, we talk about it like I'm gonna just do graphic design because I was already working with social media for my dad. And I started looking for ways to work on graphic design, and then I found the Brief Collective and probably TikTok for your channel. And I started following other designers that were kind of like talking about branding, and that's not something that I was actually looking for. And it caught my eye. And then I did a logo for my brother's friend, and then I did a brand identity for $200. And then I really liked it, but I didn't feel like I was the person to be charging as much because I just didn't know what I was doing. And then I found the Read Collective, and I got all those free courses you guys gave, all the workshops, and I signed up for the summer sales camp. I loved that, and then I was just kind of figuring I should invest in the DEA, the program, and then I chose to do it after talking with you guys, and I've never looked back.
How did it feel when you charged $200 for that logo that you did?
Well, since it was the first one, I was like excited that someone actually wanted to pay me for high work because that was something that it didn't come easy. You know, like this entire mentality of a logo could be $50, but you know, like why am I paying anything else? So it felt good that someone wanted to pay for it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I didn't want to do it for just $200 because I put this, right? Like saying that for such a low number.
So how did you decide to invest in DBA if you had only made $200? And I asked that because so many designers are like, well, I'm not looking enough clients, I'm not making enough money, so I'm not going to join, or I'm not ready yet, and they come up with all these reasons that they can't enroll in our program. How did you decide that like you're going to do this anyways, even though you weren't even making that yet?
Well, eventually I knew that 200 felt like very low, and I started not just the Brief Collective but other designers saying, oh, like 10k months and 8k months and a 5,000 project, and I was like, okay, so this is possible because people were actually charging for this, and the Brief Collective was the only one offering a how to do this, right? And I've seen like the testimonies from other students, and honestly, I didn't have like the course money at the time, but you guys had like payment plans, so I just took a leap of faith because the proof was there, you know, and I wanted to know what it was all about. And yeah, it was just like, if they can do it, I can do it.
How did it feel when you booked your first $5,000 client?
No, amazing. That client is actually still my client and a retainer. And we've become even friends, I could say. And she has referred me so many amazing clients as well. And it took a while because she didn't understand what strategy was.
Yeah.
So she was just looking for the brand suite to like kick off her like interior design for the Pilates studio. So I know it took a lot of me because I booked her while we were on the program. And I remember I would ask Marissa questions like, I have this time, what do I do? What do I ask? What do I say? And we had the call script. Yeah, like the coaching call. I think a few days before I had my.
Oh, so you had the practice. We had the practice to start. We all like,
Yeah, so that practice. And then I had the call with her, and I was like having the call script on the left, and I tried to make it sure that it was like more natural. It really changed my mindset. I think that's when it clicked. Like, okay, I'm not for everybody, and not everybody is ready to invest, and I need to understand that. And it kind of made me think, okay, so forget about the no's, just focus on the ones that are ready to say yes, because it is a mentality also for the client to be ready. And I think what helped me book her was just I was the only one explaining how strategy worked and why it was so important.
Okay, so I have just a couple more questions I want to ask you, but I want to know, kind of contrast for me, your mindset of where you were before you started DBA and then where you are now with your mindset.
Well, back then I was very hungry, for learning. I've seen all these women in your program doing it, you guys actually doing it on your individual businesses. But I didn't trust myself because I was very new to it. I felt like an imposter by even charging $1 for it when my degree is in fashion. And then a lot of judgment. Like I felt like people that know me from my personal life were looking at this and being like, oh, so you just like change your career one more time. So when you're like peaking 30 and you're just up, you're like, okay, so I was in fashion design, then I'm a teacher, and now I'm not doing that, and I'm doing this. But then this one was the one thing I was like very eager about. And
Is it just brain?
Yeah. And, I would see people that were charging all this money, and I personally saw that I had some more polished skills, and I was like, I could do this. But there was a lot of self-doubt. Something that I learned early on in DBA is not to give like emotional discounts.
What would you say to someone right now who's contemplating DBA, maybe wants to join, they're on the fence? What would you say to them? Look at the camera when you're talking this. Give me 3 things you would say to them.
First, if you're available and money is available, not in a big amount, but in a smaller amount, do the investment. It will come back 100%. Also, don't put the value of your work on other people's opinions. And lastly, you won't regret it. Just do it. Do it, do it, do it.
As Veronica has mentioned throughout this video, DBA has literally transformed her life, right? You said that. So if you'd like to get the same results that Veronica has gotten, go ahead, click the link in the description and apply for Design Biz Academy University, where we teach designers how to go from underpaid and undercharging to booking high ticket clients in 90 days or less.
Finally, make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful or inspiring in any way, and leave a comment down below what was your favorite part, and make sure to click right here to watch another one of our students' success stories.